You have $50,000 in your hands. Now imagine turning that into a cool $1 million. 7 figures. Sounds like a dream? Well, it doesn't have to be. With the right strategies and a dash of patience, you can supercharge your financial growth. So the next question, if you're asking, but how? Then you're exactly in the right place. In this video, we're going to explore how I transformed 50 grand into a whooping $1 million. So are you ready to take the first steps towards your millionaire journey? Stay with me. So you have this 50 grand. You've contributed into your registered accounts every single month that you were able to grow to 50 grand. And at the same time, you have a financial advisor and he's the one who's managing your own money. Or maybe you're someone who's been really good and patient at saving your money and you just leave your money into your own savings account or a high interest yield savings account that one of those banks decides to give you because you don't know any other way. You decide to put your money in there. But deep inside you, you know that this money has potential. You just really don't know how to actually grow it. Now, what if I told you that this amount of money could be your stepping stone into actually becoming a millionaire? Yes, you heard me right. And I'm here to exactly show you how. But here's a catch. It really does require strategy as well as patience and a bit of courage. Firstly, diversification. And we're going to talk exactly how that would look like. Ever heard of the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket? Of course, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to spread our investment across different sectors, even geographical locations. Now, here's the thing. In a $50,000 that you have, the most important thing I want you to remember is this is your hard-earned money. What that look like, how this would mean, within that 50 grand that you have, you're going to use between 2 to 5% of that only into a risky investment. Because diversification minimizes your risk and it actually maximizes your potential returns. You're only going to use a small amount of money of that 50 grand that you have towards a risky investment or what we call an aggressive investment. $5,000 is the only amount of money that you're going to invest towards a risky asset. The next question is, where are you going to invest that into a risky asset? Where are you going to find the risky assets? This is where really good industries that has the potential to 10 times your returns is where you actually grow your money with this $5,000. You don't want your whole entire 50 grand in a risky asset because what's going to happen is if your money is too much at risk, you're going to keep looking at the market, you're going to keep looking at your investments, you're going to make irrational decisions, and you're going to sell it all when you suddenly see your $50,000 going down the drain. So you're going to put a small amount of money into and diversify it into an aggressive investment, finding really good industries and where to invest your money. And this is where you're going to find industries that has the potential to 10 times your returns or even 100 times your returns. Because a 5,000 type of investment, if you know exactly where to invest that and you take that amount of risk, then you have the potential to actually growing that money. Now, the rest of the money that you have, which is around $45,000, you're going to put that into a safer investment. And no, we're not talking about mutual funds. We're not even talking about regular stocks, and we're not talking about ETFs. We're talking about dividend paying stocks. And this is the key of how Warren Buffett actually built and grew his wealth.
If you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you.
Now here's a strategy. You have a small amount of money, you let that grow. Once that has grown, your next strategy is to put that big sum of money towards your passive income. Because a $45,000 investment that you currently have out of the 50 grand will be giving you an extra 10% per year return. And here's a catch about dividend returns, you guys, is that the great parts about dividends is you receive dividends and it has a percentage of growth, plus your stocks are also growing. So you're really looking at if your dividend returns are 10%, as well as the growth of your investment is 8%, that's where usually market is, then your asset is actually growing 18% per year return, not just 10%. And that is a way better, far way better outcome and result comparing to just putting that money into a mutual fund of a 7%. And you can use the dividends as your passive income. Okay, next part, we're gonna focus on diversification. We've all heard the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. What does it actually mean? It basically means you're not gonna put all of your money in real estate. Not everything's gonna be in the stock market. Not everything's gonna be in a private equity deal. So you're gonna move across all boards in order for you to grow your money. So if I had 50 grand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put only a small amount of percentage of my money into what I call an aggressive investment. So something around between $5,000 to $10,000 of my 50,000, I'm going to put that into an aggressive investment. The next question is, which aggressive investments do I put into? And this is where you're going to invest into opportunities that has exponential growth. And to find that, it's actually investing on booming industries. And as you guys know, one thing as an example is AI or even EV industries. These are the industries that you're going to focus on and finding companies to invest your small amount of money, which is between 5 to 10,000. So then what about the rest of that extra money? That extra rest of that money, I'm going to put it into something that's more passive and a safer investment, because I wouldn't want my whole entire 50 grand in a risky investment. I'm only going to put a small amount of it, which is the 5 to 10 grand, into a riskier asset classes. And so then this way I have more potential of growing this money. Here's the most important thing is that this 5 to 10,000, you're going to diversify it in across multiple different companies. You're not going to invest in only 5 different companies. You're going to try to win and hit jackpots in many different types of companies. Within these industries, I'm going to focus on, because I know for a fact, based on a lot of research and what's happening in the world, AI, as an example, is one of the best place to invest your money right now. Now, the next part is knowing exactly which companies to invest into for that specific industry. Let's say you make some extra money at the end of the month, excess of income. You want to know how to invest it. Should you invest it into a portfolio that's a bit more risky, or are you going to put more of your money into something that is safer? And you need both. So then this way, you're actually learning really great habits into putting some small amount of money into something risky, but more towards something that's safe. And that's crucial. Secondly, we're going to invest in ourselves. That's the most important thing. What does that mean? It's simple. It means you're going to have to need mentors that are going to be with you, so you don't make crazy mistakes that will cost you $10,000. So then this way, you know exactly which companies to enter into, which industries to enter into, and you're not alone in making decisions. Remember, knowledge is power and execution is power, because when you have mentors, you're actually going to execute on those skills that you know, rather than just knowing about it. Because the more you know, yes, the better decisions that you make, but if you don't execute it, nothing will really happen. You'll forever just know it. And I know so many stories where people know so much, but yet they haven't gotten to the return that they're wanting to. Because once you have the right strategies in place, you can replicate the strategies over and over again in order for you to grow your wealth. Because once your small amount of money grew exponentially, let's say 6 figures, that's always the hardest part. When you're at 5 figures, it's always harder to get into the 6 figures and even harder to get the first 7 figures. But once you learn how to make your first 7 figures, it's easier to get to the next 8 figures and even beyond. Seriously, it's that simple. But you need to know a great strategy that works for you in order for you to get to your first 7 figures. That's the key. And that requires mentorship. And the most important thing, lastly, and we're going to play the long game. When you're playing the long game in investing, you cannot just do this on your own. You're going to waste 15 years trying to figure this out. Decades, multiple decades. So if you want instant gratification, not today. We're going to aim for something substantial, something sustainable growth, and that will take time. And remember, we're not just trying to make a quick buck. We're building wealth. We're building a fortune. And so with that being said, are you ready to embark on this exciting journey? And are you prepared to take that 50 grand and turn it into a cool 7 figures? And if the answer is yes, buckle up, my friend. This ride is going to be challenging and potentially very, very rewarding.